When you're shooting on a double rim like this one here in Pennsylvania at Paddock Park, you have to realize that you can't shoot the same way that you shoot on a single rim like the one on the other side. You want to create a little bit more of an arch to your shot, because the double rim makes it so when the ball bounces off of it, it's either going to be a very flat shot, or the shot's going to be such as that it's almost like one of those trick shots at a carnival. So you can't shoot it the same way. You want to, instead of shooting like a regular arch, you want to almost exaggerate and have a trajectory where the ball's going up and in to the basket, a little bit over exaggerated arch. So what I want you to see is that the focus is mostly the ball on the way down. It's more of a up and down trajectory. It's a splash rotation on the ball on a double rim. A reason that you might not want to train your child on a double rim is because the shots are harder to make if you are just beginning and you are not used to the ball not going in, or you want to succeed right away. It might discourage you. But it's also a good way to develop discipline in regards to form, lining up your hands, lining up your arms, your shoulders, your elbow. And if you can master shooting on a double rim, I think that you will have more success in basketball just because you've stuck it out. You can notice the players that can shoot in any kind of weather, in any kind of rim, any kind of surface or environment, compared to those that are never used to playing on a double rim. You might be choosing teams and then you'll hear someone says, oh, I can't play here because there's a double rim, or I can't play in this league because they use double rim, or I can't play at this park because they use a double rim. I encourage you not just to be able to shoot on one of the single rims, but try it on the double rims. And if you only played on an 8-foot court or 7-foot court like I see in a lot of schools, try to raise that backboard up, that rim up to 10 feet just so you can get used to it. Even if they're children, you'll develop your mechanics quicker if you, not only quicker but more efficiently, if you train yourself to resist easiness. There's a life lesson there somewhere. Aim for those double rims, take them on, and expect where you put your eye for the ball to go. When attempting to do a fadeaway shot, it's important to have it all done in one fluid motion. And the way that it helps the basketball player is if the defender is taller and you might need a little bit extra space to get a shot attempt, especially if you're not far from the basket, but you just need a little extra room. And it's something that works better if you fake, or if you fake one way and then go the other. But more importantly is to have one fluid motion once you make your move and you're pushing off. Let's say if you're a right-handed player, you're pushing off on the right leg and you fall back. It's almost like you're in a seated position, and let your left leg kind of glide you through the air and just kind of sit there, still guiding the ball, and create an arc with your right hand as you fall back and release it towards the basket. It's a move that was made famous by Michael Jordan in most recent memory, and also something that's been emulated by players like Vince Carter and also Kobe Bryant. Now, you might think, why am I fading away towards the basket, away from the basket, when my coach told me, well, just don't fade away, go towards the basket, because if you miss, you could get your own rebound. Well, it's something that many times you will have to use when there's no other option. Maybe you can't have anyone you don't have anyone to pass it to. Maybe that's your last option. But it's also good to have as many tools as possible in your toolbox. So how it looks like, you're gonna be here, and let's say the defender is here and he thinks you're going one way. You can fake like you're gonna pass, or you're going to shoot, but then you turn in one motion, falling back, and you release the ball. But once you decide to commit to the fadeaway jump shot, shoot it. I've seen a lot of players, when they get the ball, they don't know what to do with it, or at the last moment they decide to pass it. That may work maybe 30% of the time, but there's a probability that it'll most likely end up in the defender's hands, and now you have a fast break and you've just given up easy points. So the fadeaway, it's a nice tool to use. I will show you, and I will demonstrate how to use it from. As you saw, I was kicked out my left leg after having pushed off and back with my right leg. Why? Because it will give you a sense of balance as you are gliding through the air temporarily. Notice all, if not most, of the fadeaway jump shots that you have seen that have emulated some of the greats have the left leg, if you're a right-handed shooter, be free in a controlled way, but relaxed and falling back into that seated position. Let me try another angle. Another form of the fadeaway shot that you may have seen was when Jordan jumped from the free throw line over Greg Elo. That one, he did not use the same leg motion with the leg falling back and him on the chair. He kind of was faced towards the basket, and once his arm, elbow, and shoulder were lined up and wrists were lined up towards the basket, he released a shot over Craig Elo and made that iconic shot over against the Cleveland Cavaliers. So as you see, your own momentum will help you with this shot. Now, you still have to consider the mechanics and physics of shooting when you're gliding through the air as you attempt your one motion fadeaway shot. So you have to compensate or overcompensate or undercompensate for the fact that your body is turning at the same time, and where the ball would be ordinarily if you release it where you normally release it at the top of your shot to make your shot be more accurate over your defender or just off the backboard, because this also works off the backboard. If you have a better percentage shot getting it off the backboard, you might want to use the arc at the top of your shot to have it go off the backboard, so you'll have a little bit more time to rebound it in case it doesn't go in. But of course, we always want it to go in the first time. And again, some of you younger players playing in school, your coach might tell you, no fadeaways, go to them. A lot of big players, especially now, you'll see them do the fadeaway, but it's not something that's, you could tell they practice a lot. So it looks a little bit sloppy. And what you want to do is practice it enough that it just looks like you always do it, even though you might never use it. Like a lot of players don't use a hook shot now, but it's a very effective shot. It creates space between you and the defender, especially if they're taller and you are shorter, but especially if you're taller and everyone else is shorter. Ask Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So as you saw for that last running fadeaway shot, you need to use your legs a lot more. So this is something that Kobe Bryant as well as Michael Jordan used earlier in their career when they were super athletic, and less when they were still athletic, but not like they were when they were in their 20s. If you still have a pair of good knees, you might want to do the first one, because it enables you don't have to use so much of your knees that after you finish playing the game, you'll have to be icing them down as much, or even if it's a pickup game and it's very intense, you might just want to use the first one, but have the second one in your toolbox. It might be the last shot of the game. Hey, give it to the guy above 50 years old and he'll take that shot. Once he takes that shot, you're going to realize that, yes, it's something that he had in his toolbox, but he just can't use it as often, right? You pass 50 years old, you're playing basketball, you might not have the same kind of athletics that you did when you first started playing the game, but you still have the tools. It's almost like the more you learn about the game, your athletics, they go down. As you get older, you know more about the game, you're smarter, but you don't have as much athleticism. So that's something that you might want to just use. It's fun. All right, bye, have a good day. Tell me how it works for you, or your tips on shooting a fadeaway jump shot, or however you use it. You might be left-handed and need a tutorial where this video is reversed. So if you need that, you can reverse this video yourself, or you can say, hey, I want a demonstration on how to do it with my left hand. But most viewers are right-handed, and most basketball players that I know are right-handed, because most people in the world are right-handed. So if you need something geared specifically for your left-handed brain, we can do that. Thank you. If you found this video useful, subscribe, share, and tell me where you play basketball. Maybe I'll show up in your playground next.